Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting a like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Now, today's first story comes from Snoo Macaroons 7686, who says, "Am I the arsehole for not letting my child speak her native language at home?" Title isn't as bad as it sounds. My 35 male wife, 32 female, is Welsh and I am English. But if you get right down to it, we're both British anyway. She's always been kind of funny about identifying as Welsh and not British, no matter how many times I tell her they're not mutually exclusive, lol. I'm really tired of having to put up with her extreme nationalism. First of all, she insisted that our daughter have a Welsh name, so now my family can't even pronounce it or spell it. I have to put up with jokes about my daughter's name all the time and her name getting spelled wrong all the time. The only primary school in the area is a Welsh school, so my daughter has started learning all her schoolwork through Welsh. This is fine, I guess. It's pointless, but other than not being able to help her with her homework, which her mum does anyway, it's not an issue. The issue is that my daughter has started speaking Welsh with her mother's family, her mother and her friends outside of school. I asked her to stop, but my wife said I was being really rude to ask her to stop speaking in her native language. But she can speak English too. It's not her native language when her father doesn't speak it. My wife said I'm an arsehole because I agreed to raise our child bilingually, but I was under the impression that our daughter would still choose to speak English because it's all around us. She speaks English and Welsh at home, sometimes mixing them both. It's confusing and can't be good for her education to be learning it in a pointless language. What happens when she goes to university in English? My wife says I should get lessons for Welsh and she would be happy to pay and help, but I really don't see the point in learning a dead language when we can all just speak English. Am I the arsehole for wanting my child to speak English? And I spotted the first comment and there's no point in me repeating it. I'll just read the comment out, which says, "Final feeling says, you're the arsehole. 1. Welsh is not a dead language. 2. You and your wife agreed to raise your daughter as bilingual. Stop trying to go back on your agreement. 3. Being bilingual as a child is a great thing. It will not hurt her chance at university. Educate yourself." Sindri says, "You're the arsehole," and quotes, "It's not a native language when her father doesn't speak it," and then says, "Bah, I can't even. So her native language is only her father's native language, not her mother's. Please do elaborate." As someone who grew up with 2 languages, I'd love to hear the reasoning to this. This comment says, "You're the arsehole. She's Welsh, lives in Wales, speaks Welsh at school, and you're freaking out because she speaks Welsh, as well as English. Hey, notice that. It's English, not British. Stop being an arsehole. Learn a few words of Welsh and be happy that your daughter will have a cool other language to connect with her ancestry. Practically every other European country teaches English as well as their native language." Abby Coop says, "You're the arsehole. I live in a small Welsh village in southwest Wales. I'm originally from Surrey. I can't speak Welsh at all. My children attend schools that are exclusively Welsh speaking. Children that are born in Wales should speak Welsh and English. It's their heritage and should be proud of it. Calling it pointless and a dead language is horrible. Also, most Welsh people like to identify as Welsh and not British, and I don't blame that for them at all. You sound extremely patronizing, and I would want to keep myself separate from that British attitude, just like your wife does. Wales forever, as my children and partner like to say. Your daughter and wife are proud to be Welsh, and you should be proud of them." Absolutely. And one more from a deleted user who says, yes, majorly you're the arsehole. You say you don't get a nationalism, but that's just it. You don't get it. Therefore, you decided it's not a big deal. Regardless of the fact it's quite important to people who are Welsh, like your wife. You have a very confused idea of what Welsh is and how bilingualism works. If your daughter speaks language A with parent 1 and language B with parent 2, they are both her native languages. And if she has started speaking this with her mum's family, it is certainly not a dead language. All I can make out of this is you, being English, have decided that English/British is everyone else's identity in the UK, and that you are ready to outright dismiss your wife's feelings on the matter of her own origins, because it doesn't suit your worldview. Open your eyes and your mind before you hurt your kid. Oh, and by the way, when you don't know anything about bilingualism, you shouldn't come out with statements like it's confusing and can't be good for education. Bilingualism is generally considered a major advantage for kids. The cognitive benefits alone are worth it. So then OP started coming in with the edits, which said, okay, but now my wife is making me sleep on the couch while she thinks about our relationship. Am I still the arsehole when she's willing to disrupt our child's life because I want my child to speak a language everyone speaks? Edit, I'm okay with her learning Welsh, just not speaking it at home all the time. It's stupid having a three-way conversation when people aren't speaking the same language, but my daughter insists on using Welsh. Edit, I'm not going to answer questions that ask me why I married my wife. I married her because I love her, end of. Edit, going to bed, some comments have given me some insight and I can't ignore all the you're the arsehole posts. I thought maybe it was just the Welsh being at it again. But well, there's more of you calling me an arsehole than there are Welsh speakers. I'll have a think and chat with my wife tomorrow. Edit. I'm having a lot of trouble sleeping, I'll be honest. Might have something to do with me being 100% an arsehole to my wife and daughter. A lot of mixed feelings. How do I explain that I still feel like I'm right, but I know that I'm wrong? We live in the countryside and it's been hard with lockdown. I couldn't work and I was surrounded by all Welsh in my home without any English outlets of my own. I was wrong and very bitter and used those bitter feelings against my own family. I'm going to tell my wife that I get Welsh lessons and I plan on couples counselling for us so that I can properly work through my shit. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who helped me grow up and see that my daughter was more important than my childish, selfish reasons. I was so fucked up. I'm willing to learn because I was already behind. I'd like to thank those who shared their stories of learning Welsh. My daughter's name is Megan for those people asking. Edit, my wife insists that we pronounce Megan the Welsh way. It sounds beautiful, but she gets annoyed that my family pronounce it like Southerners. And then I believe OP went on to say thanks very much in Welsh, which I can't pronounce it. I've tried several times. All I got is the diocha. That's the only bit I can do. I do apologise. And I should be ashamed of myself as my mum was Welsh. So then OP came in to continue their update, which said, so I posted about 2 weeks ago looking for your judgment. It took a while, but I agree with it. Some developments have happened since then, so I thought I would update. 1. I admitted to my wife I was being an arsehole and was ready to learn Welsh. I've been using Duolingo and sitting down with my daughter and wife while we do my daughter's homework. My wife still laughs whenever I say, and I'll try this one, hola nechli, but here we are. 2. I showed my wife the Am I the Arsehole post. She said I was a complete dipshit, but she cried and admitted she's been excluding me on purpose in the hopes that I would learn Welsh if she did it enough. I explained how it made me more resentful and I had almost left her because of it. We're going to go to couples therapy. Skipping to 4 because it's more relevant. I sent my dad a message telling him to ask my mother if she can start pronouncing Megan the way my wife wants it. Megan likes it the Welsh way too, and Bo vomited when I asked her if she liked it the way Nana said it. My mother hasn't said anything, but my wife and I taught Megan to tell her, Nana, I like my name said like this, when my mum says it wrong. We'll have to see where this goes, since my mum has said in the past that she won't pronounce it like, and it's a derogatory term used against Welsh people that I refuse to say. I will be putting my foot down if she starts. 5. There was someone who pretended to be my wife on another post. I reported it and it got it taken down. I did not make my wife sleep on the couch that night, lol. Just some sad person creating made up drama. 6. My daughter and I managed to get a 5-star island on Animal Crossing. Not relevant, but we managed it this week. Have a nice day and cheers for your help. And now I'm going to be turning this one to you guys. And you guys have probably known if you've been on my Twitter for a while, or just, I might have said it on YouTube as well, the last couple of years or so, when I could, which I travelled down to Wales and been doing it the last couple of years at different places, particularly South Wales. And it's just such a lovely, welcoming place. I think the last place I don't know why I'm giving you like tourist advice, but if you ever get to go to Wales, go to Tenby. The beach there is absolutely stunning. Obviously you need the right weather for beach, but the town is equally as beautiful as well, and the people there. But what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Positive Balance 3756, who says, am I the arsehole for doing weird/awkward poses whenever my mother-in-law accidentally walks in on me in the bathroom? So my mother-in-law, I'm a gal by the way, lol, came to stay with us for a few weeks till our home is renovated for Christmas. The problem is that she's been randomly walking in on me while I'm in the bathroom. Thankfully, not once she has seen me naked because I started picking on her behavior after the second time in a week. She'd barge in, then turn and says, oh, sorry, then close the door. I tried talking to my husband about it, but he kept ignoring me, then flat out said, so what if she accidentally seen you naked? She's family. He seriously said that. We have a lock and I could have used it, but I have past trauma from the idea of locking/being locked in a room after my brother locked me in the bathroom when I was 5. So I came up with this idea. I go inside the bathroom pretending to use it and wait for her to come, because honestly, it's deliberate at this point. When she accidentally barges in, she'd see me in a weird, awkward position. For example, doing a ballet stand, standing on the toilet, or standing facing the wall with my hands up. Fully clothed, of course. I could see how awkward and weird this would be for her because she'd stand there for a few seconds trying to figure out what I was doing. It was hilarious at first seeing her initial confusion, but she told my husband about it, claiming she's caught me practicing rituals in the bathroom. I cleared things up and revealed the reason why. My husband was livid. He called me childish and said that I made his mum feel terrified and weirded out by my behavior. He said I should have acted maturely and locked the damn door instead of playing mind games. Edit, lol, what? I just came back on here and saw literally thousands of people. Oh my god, now I feel embarrassed. Glad I went anonymous, lol. But seriously, I'm looking at my screen and I'm like, I'm famous. Seriously though, my husband and his mum are extremely upset with me. He still thinks it was ridiculous and is demanding an apology before she goes back to her home. I'm not sure if I would be apologizing because, yes, while it was a me problem that I couldn't use the lock, it still feels wrong what she did, and maybe I'm wrong too, but at least I got, so did you apparently lol, a bit of a chuckle out of it. Now to me, you explained that you had like past trauma with, and in some ways I think you're pretty convinced that you're doing this for some whatever weird reason. And I think what you did was pretty harmless in the grand scheme of things anyway. I'm just thinking of situations where I would walk through a closed door like that in someone else's house, and I don't think I ever would. Even like when I go around to my brother's house and we have a family get together, whenever the door's shut, always a little tap on the door just in case someone is in there. So yeah, I don't know what she's up to, but the whole but family thing again is popping up. That always makes me chuckle. I don't know why. But ER says, not the arsehole, you went the funny way and that's dope. Your husband, however, is an arsehole. He expects you to be mature about it, but he doesn't expect his mother to knock on the fucking door before walking in. Fluffy Doubt says, wait, so he's mad at you because she barges in on you in the bathroom in your home that she's a guest in, but gets mad at you for weirding her out and causing her grief. What? It's her fault. She should be knocking and not acting like no one lives there and it's her own house. Girl, go get some jelly, red if you can, and smother it on your face when she walks in. Eat it like a caveman, and when your husband asks, you will stress eating, not the arsehole. Petty me was thinking something a bit more extreme, you know, if she's going to do this thing on purpose, just have your hair all in front of your face and hanging down like the movie The Ring, and then when she does open the door, just go, That's just petty me talking though. But Shan goes, humour her. Stop posing, but look at your watch seriously while facing the door like you're waiting for a kid after curfew. Then sigh disappointedly and shake your head. 14 seconds, mother-in-law. That's terrible. You will need to do better. Alternatively, shove a towel under the door. Not the arsehole. And one from the Everyone Sucks Here camp, because there was a few of those as well, from Big Pete 78, who says everyone sucks here in some way or another. You suck by messing about instead of locking the door. I mean, yes, it's your house and you should be able to do whatever, whenever. But once you started to notice it happening more, be a grown-up about it and either lock the door or talk it out with her. Mother-in-law sucks because she should respect your privacy and not trying to catch you out in the bathroom. Husband sucks for not backing you up, for not seeing the funny side. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if you was OP? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story is titled, Am I the Arsehole for pretending not to know my fiance after she had a meltdown during boarding the plane and was eventually thrown off? I imagine I'm going to get raked over the coals for this one. So my fiance, maybe not for much longer, and I were on our way back from a vacation recently. It was a great time and everything went off without an issue. That is until we started boarding the plane. Now, I know better. I only bring a small backpack with essentials in case I don't get my checked bags. I can survive out of this backpack and it will always pass baggage check for size and weight. Done a lot of traveling, so why fight the system? My fiance didn't want to listen to my advice and chose to bring basically a regular full-size bag that barely fits the standards of carry-on. But generally speaking, the airline worker doesn't want to deal with the trouble and allows it through. But this time the airline worker was not having it. It was a packed flight. We were boarding last in economy and it was just a shit show. I got through just fine first with my little backpack, but I could hear the argument from the boarding tunnel thingy and it was getting heated. I was about to go back and try to smooth it out, but my fiance rushed past and just boarded the plane. I assumed, not having heard it super clearly, that the attendant had given in and not let her on. That was not the case. So we found our seats and settled in. I was pretty tired and I could tell she was upset, so I kinda tucked into the window and put my hat down and tried to take a nap. But soon after, the airline worker and cop showed up and they are not fucking around and want her off the plane. She tries to plead and cry, etc., but they are not having it. And maybe in a moment of panic or just plain self-preservation, the cop asks if we're together, and I blurted out no, shaking my head emphatically. I got kill-dagger eyes from her as she shot up and grabbed her bag and followed the cop out. She was also swearing and screaming the whole way out. Now obviously, this is well after the event I'm posting this, but when she did eventually get home, she caught the next flight out with the bag checked, lol. I was there to pick her up. She obviously thought I was the arsehole, and to be honest, almost everyone I know thinks I'm the arsehole except my boss and co-workers, who for context were very much relying on me to get back on time, which I gave my word I would, for a really important project that was time sensitive. They were all very happy I didn't get thrown off too. So am I the arsehole for this self-preservation? And we're going to start off with BF, who says not the arsehole, get out while you still can. This is how she'd be forever. She'd never learn from this experience. And Catalina replies to that saying, disagree. Nothing like the humiliation of a cop escorting you off a plane to learn that rules really are a thing. Loss of time, money, and public humiliation are very powerful teachers. And now OP can reference this whenever she forgets her social decorum. Acting up in a restaurant. Geez, I hope they didn't escort you out like they did off that plane. I'm not sure I agree with the disagree there. I mean, it might be the case, but if someone's willing to barge past airport staff to get on a plane, you know, that's crazy level stuff. Airports are very serious places. I was surprised she was able to get on the next plane from the way she acted, you know, just barging through to get on a plane like that. I don't know, but I might be totally wrong there. Go for Broke says, honestly. Scarlet Rose says, not the arsehole, and please seriously consider whether you want events like this to be a normal part of your life, because someone who reacts like that when she knows she's in the wrong is not going to change. Although if not for the work thing and if you wanted to save the relationship, you probably should have gotten off with her. Not because she was in any way in the right, but because she is going to hold this over your head and sulk for a very long time. Opie replies saying, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have even argued with the airline worker, I'm just not like that. I would have smiled and politely agreed to whatever they wanted. I hate conflicts that are unnecessary. Kitty Cute says not the arsehole. When people behave so badly that the police get involved, my loyalty to them disappears. She fucked up and found out. Frankly, in your shoes, I just want to get home ASAP. And she can deal with the situation she created. Don't marry that nut job. Najar says, I actually think not the arsehole. I think it's hilarious. I fly a lot, both for work and with my family and 2 small kids, and people like her make it hard for everyone. Air travel is so stressful already. She acted like a lunatic and made it so much worse. I had friends get in big trouble once for trying to bring fresh fruit back from overseas. That's a no-no. I told them they couldn't, they didn't listen, and when we went through security at customs, they found it and made them throw it away. The wife argued and made a big stink, and we just walked away. You warned her, plus her behavior would have negatively affected you had you missed your flight. Now, that's not to say she won't break up with you, but she should have learned a lesson. Now, put yourself in OP's position. How would you act in this situation? Would you have walked away? Would you have ignored her like OP did in this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. As always, your support means the absolute world, not just to me, but towards the channel as well. Thank you so much. Thank you to the new members as well who support the channel. Truly appreciated. Never expected, of course, but again, truly appreciated. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love to you.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day.